Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mark Lotzi, CEO of PointChain, and with me in the DJ booth is Dan Adamson, our CTO. We're very pleased and excited to share with you today ConfiIQ. We know risk is evolving today, and legacy systems, manual processes are not very scalable nor adequate to support the evolving risk environments. ConfiIQ is an intelligent risk and compliance platform designed to bring proactive AML controls and workflows to the forefront, so financial institutions can benefit from enhanced controls, increased efficiencies, and cost savings. Today, we're going to demonstrate very quickly a financial investigation from a flag transaction. And we're going to do this by demonstrating two key components of our software. One, our transaction review system, as well as our intelligent client management system. So to dig in, ConfiIQ is a workflow-based system where we compartmentalize different tasks either into alerts or work items. And those work items are then assigned to members of the compliance team or risk teams, depending on the situation. And those are then picked up for work. I think the idea here is to provide value for the institution to make sure that you're governing internally, as well as making sure that you're adhering to your BSA program, and at the same time providing auditability and transparency to regulators and auditors. So to pick up the investigation, we'll kick this off. And so we're going to go to our own tasks, see what's been assigned to us, and from there, we're going to open up this investigation. So on the screen, we're going to see the entire flag transaction. We're going to look at the reason code for that transaction. We're going to identify the parties of the transaction and the amounts. And from there, we're going to go through this investigation in three phases. One, very high level and kind of periphery, what's the amount? And let's look at the historical transactions between these two parties. And so once we can open that up and we can see that these two parties have transacted historically, there is record, we understand the frequency of those transactions, and we can make a decision based off that if we are comfortable. The idea here is to create auditability in your actions. And so if you're making notes in the system, those live on and can be picked up and viewed later internally through a QA process or auditors, regulators later down the road if need be. But in this case, we're going to go to level 2 of the investigation, and that's understanding the counterparty, right? So this is the non-client. And what ConfiIQ does really well is it automates the onboarding and profile creation of a non-member or non-client, the counterparty, and we automate the CIP and risk assessment of that counterparty. And so now we can look at information grabbed from machine learning models and intelligence that way to automate this onboarding and start to understand ourselves, understand what the nature of business is around this particular client or counterparty, and then begin to make decisions about this transaction itself. So if we scroll down, we can then look at through a reverse vector kind of concept where we can see who this counterparty is transacting with across our organization. So not just with Mark as the flag transaction, but broadly across our organization to understand different patterns, different frequencies. At any point in time during this investigation, we can click in and understand different transactions and dig into anything that's been flagged historically as well. So phase 3 of the investigation, we're going to look at the client management system. And so from here, we can quickly take a little transaction activity review and look at year-to-date activity with what's been projected in the last 30 days, year-to-date, versus what's been projected on a monthly basis. And I think banks are really struggling, in my opinion, with disparate systems, right? They've got all kinds of cool technologies. They've got all kinds of data living in different places. But that really interrupts and disconnects, I think, workflows and the ability to complete tasks efficiently, right, and auditably. And so this system here is designed to bring in information from different systems like onboarding systems, KYC systems, transaction monitoring systems, right? And so now you have a holistic view of your client in a single shot with just a few clicks. And so we can look at the different key parties of the account, if it's a corporate account or commercial account. We can look at the documentation that's been added, right? So whether it's articles and corporate documents or personal information or personal documents. And this all can be consumed right here on the spot by not swiveling a chair, not looking elsewhere to another system, but simply here in the platform. And if we go to the KYC section, we can see that there is a risk assessment or an EDD score on the account. This automates and generates a calendar of account refreshes. So high risk is going to be year over year, and it's going to remind the compliance team and put that as a task to be picked up, right? So part of that internal governance and management. And so also, as key parties are added or changed, right, in the organization, not only are we alerted of those changes, but also here you can seamlessly kick off a KYC report and generate that for immediate consumption. So this is part of that integration model where if you're using a third-party vendor, then you can easily integrate with that third party, and it's centralized here. So your repository becomes here for your client, overarching everything. And we also categorize all the alerts as well. So historically, you can look at, on a year-over-year basis, what kind of alerts are being triggered or flagged on the account, and they will range across all kinds of different alerts that the institution has set up. Also, you can look at all the different flag transactions. And so again, understanding the transactionality of the client is very important to help you make your decision, make your investigation kind of however it unfolds. At this point, once you're here, then you can decide how you want to proceed with the transaction or not. But I think within the 5 minutes that we've been talking, it's I haven't moved, I haven't swiveled my chair, I haven't looked anywhere else, and I've extracted a lot of information, a lot of knowledge on a single transaction that does need to be reviewed. So I think to conclude the demo, we understand risk is evolving, and we understand legacy systems, manual approaches are not scalable, nor are they auditable. And so we demonstrated today at Confia IQ that bringing controls and governance forward for banking institutions can really unlock efficiency gain, savings, and enhanced controls. And so we really appreciate you guys attending the demonstration today. We'll love for you to come by and see us at our booth and enjoy the rest of the conference.